what can I say about game 2? Trailblazers taking on the Velocity. Welcome to Cricbuzz Live. And what I can say is firstly that the Trailblazers, thanks to the experience of Jhulan Goswami, I told you she'd pick up wickets just to spite me, and Sophie Ecclestone really took the heart and soul out of the Velocity team. Goswami bowled a really good length, back of a length, made it hard for someone like a Shafali Verma to attack down the ground, whereas Sophie Ecclestone was excellent in changing her pace. Wasn't a lot of turn, but her pace and her length was so crucial. And all of a sudden, the top 4 Velocity players were out and the score was only on 19. From there, it was always going to be hard going. Now, I want to delve a little bit deeper because I certainly know that people watching the women's game, potentially for the first time, might look at that match and go, not good enough. The women's game or the women's Indian domestic players are not good enough. I even saw someone saying that they're 10 years behind where the WBBL is. That isn't true. You've got to look at the fact that the Indian side made the T20 World Cup and they qualified first. And the main reason why today's match was very poor was purely down to the pitch. As a past player, I know for a fact that if there is pace in the pitch, it enhances our game. Now, we cannot shy away that the women will not bowl as fast as the men. So there is less pace on the ball. And physically, we're not as strong. So we need the conditions to help us play an attractive brand of cricket. Now, if you get that right, and we saw that in the T20 World Cup final, if you get that right, then all of a sudden the showcase of the women's game and the skills that are displayed are so important for the game to continue to develop. And people fall in love with the women's game because of that. But when the pitch is low and slow, it's really hard. Now, I know we're at the end of the IPL, and I know that these pitches have had a lot of cricket on them. So maybe we need to consider a different time for these matches to take place. The other question I want to pose to you is, would you put the men in the same situation that you have put these women in? Now, I know as female cricketers and as female athletes, a lot of the time we say, thank you very much for giving us an opportunity. These players have not had any cricket. And I'm talking about the Indian players. They have not had any cricket since March 8th. And then you look at domestic players, you can probably add another month to that as well. So they are certainly thankful of doing that. But would you ask a male player to be in Mumbai for 8 days in hotel quarantine, then to fly across to Dubai, be in hotel quarantine for another 6 days, come out of that and train for less than a week, and for the Velocity team, play a game last night, finished at 10:30? They're staying in Dubai, so they have to drive out to Sharjah. By the time they get back and wind down, probably after midnight, then they sleep, get up, and they have to go and play a day game. Again, I ask you, would you ask a male player to do that? If the answer is no, and I hope that it is no, then we cannot judge these players on their performance today. I think I've indicated that a lot of things haven't gone quite their way. So I don't want to focus on potentially the fact that Velocity didn't learn from their mistakes and a lot of players were playing similar shots. They haven't played a lot of cricket, so we cannot be too critical of the player. We can absolutely commend Trailblazers and what they were able to do with bowling plans. And even the fact that the Trailblazers took 8 overs to chase a total under than 50 shows that there was no pace in the pitch. So, a day off tomorrow, and hopefully that gives ground staff a bit of time just to get a little bit more life into the pitch. I don't know if that will be the case, but I certainly hope that we see a pitch that we saw in the first game. I think scores around that 130, 140 mark is acceptable given not only where the games are at the end of a tournament, but also where the players are coming out of lockdown. Certainly a lot of food for thought there. Keep tuning into Cricbuzz.